All right, welcome. Let's take a comfortable seat, do some opening breathing, breath work, and we'll go from there. Hmm. So sit up well. Take a moment to be conscious of the spine, upright. Let the back of the neck grow long. Pull the air in through the nose and out through the nose. We'll practice a couple rounds of Ujjayi Pranayama, specifically on the exhale. So just to go over our Ujjayi sounds, when we restrict the throat to slow the breathing. The feeling is when you try to fog a mirror. So if you just pretend that you're fogging a mirror on the exhale, go make a ha sound. You're going to do that, but you're going to do it as you exhale through the nose. So close the mouth, but try to fog the mirror through the nose. The idea is that you're trying to force the air through a smaller space, gently restricting the throat. You're going to inhale normal, big and then long, slow Ujjayi exhale. Big full breath in. And then Ujjayi breath, exhale. Inhale. Exhale, Ujjayi. Right now we're doing about 3 in, inhale. And 8 out, Ujjayi. Great, in. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale. Exhale, Ujjayi. Good. Put a hand against your mid back or a forearm against your mid back and try to breathe and stretch the muscles into the back of the hand a little bit. You're also going to put your other hand on the belly, on the navel, so that you're breathing into your mid back and your belly. They're relaxing and expanding on the inhale. And then Ujjayi exhale. You think it was like opening up the double doors on the inhale. And you close one of those double doors as you exhale, meaning less can move through it. It takes longer for people to exit. Open the doors. And then just half open. Exhale, slowing the breath. When you inhale, breathe into the mid back and the belly. In. And out. Keep going. A couple more rounds. Just do it to yourself. Practice on your own. Inhaling into the mid back and belly. Exhaling slowly through the nose. Let it release the shoulder blades. Let it release the back of your neck. Three more rounds. You can relax your arms, but still breathe the same way. Last breath cycle. Good. Hang your head over to your left. Rest your left hand on it. Good. Keep the back side neck long. Let's change sides. Still breathing, slow, long exhales. Back to center, let the forehead grow heavy, let it hang. From here, draw the elbows and the shoulders back and down like you had weights tied to your elbows. Breathe into the mid back and the belly. Good. Take your left hand, place it on your right knee, and keep the head relaxed. And then slide that left hand down on the diagonal. Maybe the fingertips will find the floor. So you've twisted and slightly rounded your back. Breathe into that left mid back and the belly. Draw back up. Forehead's a little bit heavy. Draw those elbows down and back. You're going to take your right elbow or right wrist across and then reach it on the diagonal. Opening up that right kidney area. Inhale back up. Good. Lift the arms up, field goal post. You can get the elbows as high as the shoulders, please do. And you're going to pull the hands back. Check your wrist. Try not to have this thing happening, but rather have the wrist perfectly aligned rather than tilted back. When you pull back, it rotates the arm bone inside the shoulder. Good. Now squeeze the bottom of the shoulder blades a little bit. And still breathe into the mid back at the same time. So the ribs aren't popping forward. Elbows a little bit forward, Kathy and John and Jim. Elbows a little forward. Yeah, and then try to rotate the hands past the elbows. Yeah. The more you bring the elbows forward, the easier it is to bring the hands back. Good. That'll help create that tone in that lower shoulder area. This wrist likes to open up. Can you see it? Good. Turn the palms open and gently pull the elbows down first, and then the hands to draw the shoulder blades down and in away from the ears. Once the arms are extended, let the forehead grow heavy. Feel the stretch in the back of the neck. Good. From here, just spiral. We're not going to lean this time. We're going to spiral like our spine was a barbershop pole. We're going to spiral the other direction. Back to center. Good. Let's come to tabletop posture, hands and knees. Keep your arms very straight. And just think about melting your rib cage down so the arm bone draws into the back of the shoulder and you hang the ribs. Relax here, start to open the throat. Good, now push Push down and feel the shoulder blades broaden on your back and lift your ribs up to the sky. Hang the ribs one more time, sinking, drawing the arm bones into the shoulder blades and squeeze the shoulder blades this time as you open your throat. And then exhale, push down on the ground, lift that rib cage up high. You can feel the shoulder blades broaden on the back of the ribs. Good. Step your right foot back and push through the right heel. And then turn and look over your left shoulder. Back to center. Go ahead, step back your left foot, push through your left heel. Keeping that, you'll turn and look over your right shoulder. Back. Let's come down to our forearms. You can do this on blocks or you can do this on the ground, no problem. You can press your hands together. And again, melt your chest through your shoulder blades. Gotta feel some freedom in the shoulder blade, like there's some space between your shoulder blade and your ribs. Good. From here, just start to sink the hips back, sending the sit bones towards the heels. Stretch those elbows out a little bit. So you feel a stretch on the underside of the shoulder and the tricep. Let's inhale, come back forward. And come forward just enough so your core has to engage a little bit, drawing the belly muscles in, lifting the ribs up. Coming forward just enough to feel the core engage. And let's go ahead again, sit back, sending the sit bones towards the heels. Opening up the arms. This time you can, if your hands are together, you're gonna lift your hands so your fingers point to the sky. And just the elbows are pushing down the floor. Release the back of your neck here. Good, one more time. Come back to elbows or forearms and bring the shoulders out in front so the core engages just a little bit. All right, let's set back. Let's go to our downward facing dog pose. Gentle stretch, okay to keep the knees bent here to start. Deep breath into that mid-back and belly, and then long, slow exhale out. Slowly lowering back down to your knees. Walk your hands back. You put your hands up on blocks. If you don't have blocks, you put your fingertips on your thighs. And you're gonna arch your spine by pushing down and arching the throat and chin up. You can even send your tail back slightly. Opening the front body, deep breath in. And then pushing down, rounding. Let's send that tailbone down into the earth. Lift the ribs back and up. Exhale the air out. It's a kneeling cat-cow. Let's do that whole sequence again. You're going to push the sit bones back. Arch the spine forward, curling up. Still pushing down on the earth with the hands. And then reverse. Push down and away. Sort of draw the belly muscles in. Send the tailbone into the earth. As you expand the ribs back and up. Good. From here, let's walk our blocks or hands over to our right. Once you've walked the hands over to the right, you're going to step your left foot forward on the left edge of the mat. And just bend into that knee. Try to open the inner thigh here. If you want, you can walk your right knee a little wider and sink into the hips. Good. From here, you're going to lift your front toes and start to rock back just a little bit. Maybe straightening that leg. So it's like an open runner stretch. Good. Let's go back into a flat foot, back into a bent knee. And you're going to go ahead and reach your left arm up as you do it. And then we'll sit back one more time, lifting those toes, rocking back. Good. And last round, let's bend that front knee again, place that foot flat, and now walk your body as close to that front thigh as you can. Change the height of the blocks or get rid of them altogether. Once you're close to that front thigh, you're going to tuck your back toes and lift your back knee up. Well, let's try to get a nice long stride here, as far as that front knee can go forward, as far as that back leg can go back, and not overextending, just feeling inside your skeleton, muscles like a woven net, exploring that range of motion, not demanding more of it, just opening it up to its edge, what feels appropriate. All right, drop that back knee. Just let that front knee fall open a second. Get a little bit of a different hip stretch. Yep, so I can see like the sole of my front foot. Good, and now we'll go back to tabletop. Let's just take a moment here, let our hips neutralize. You can go to downward dog. I'm gonna sit back personally to neutralize my hips, but whatever feels good to you. When you're ready, you'll come back forward. You're gonna walk those blocks on over to the left side of your mat. So you can step your right foot to the right edge of your mat. You might step the left knee a little wider. We want a nice wide stretch to open up our inner thighs. That's good. You're gonna bend the front knee. And you'll go ahead and you'll sit back, peeling those right toes up into a runner stretch. And let's go back into bending the front knee. And sit back. And bend the front knee. And this time, go ahead and lift up the right arm. Let's sit back one more time. Noticing if this hip is a little different. This time you're going to bend the front knee and walk the blocks, hands to the inner thigh of that front leg. Should be your right leg. Good. Change the height of the blocks or get rid of them altogether. When you're ready, you'll tuck your back toes, lift the back knee, and increase the length of that lunge. Really feeling the extension, staying inside the flexibility and mobility of your body, but being at the edge. The yamas, the practices of yoga, how to be in the world, is called ahimsa, non-harming. Ahimsa, non-harming. And you can think about it, it's like, hey, to not explore our range of motion could be harmful. We start to lose mobility. And drop the back knee and let that front foot turn open by letting that front knee fall out. Still supporting yourself with your arm strength. In the same way, obviously, which is more common, I think, we sometimes go past our range of motion when we're practicing yoga. Not practicing yoga, maybe we don't explore our range of motion. Practicing yoga with a worldly mindset, sometimes we can overdo it. So we're practicing ahimsa inside our postures, non-harming. Hey, it's good to know my range of motion. Let's come back to neutral. Sit back, down dog, child's pose, whatever works for you. I don't need to be hasty. I don't need to overextend like I'm going to get some reward for how well I do my yoga poses, or how deeply I push my body in my yoga poses. There's no carrots or certificates or even a badge. You don't even get badges for this stuff. Let's come all the way forward to lying on our belly, sliding the body forward. Then go ahead and walk the hands out in front. So the palms are down, but the shoulders are up. So you've got a little bit of an angle here. You're gonna first push the ground down and then push it away from you. So you can kind of feel the hips kind of come under. It's like your toes are sliding away from your hands. And now drop your forehead down like it's hanging between the shoulder blades. It might find the floor, depending on how far away the hands are. Good, let's reverse it. Keep pressing the ground down, but this time pull your hands, pull like you're trying to drag your body forward and lift the chin up. Lift the gaze up. Toning the muscles a little bit in a different way. If you can, bend your knees so your toes point into the sky. Try not to cramp your muscles, just gently toning the toes, toning the legs, the hamstrings. Good, let's see if you can walk the hands back, maybe just one hand's width, and straighten the elbows, or think about straightening the elbows, straighten a little more. We're gonna call this mermaid asana. So you're becoming like a mermaid pose. Good, breathing. Gotta melt your rib cage through your shoulder blades. And relax back down to the earth. Take your right arm across the body and reach back with the left hand to hold the left foot. We'll just do a gentle thigh stretch to open the practice. As you don't have to pull too hard, just let the gravity of the arm on that foot do the work. Go ahead and turn your gaze over to the right shoulder. You can think about this idea of ahimsa, this idea of non-harming. This extends out into the world, into life, into our social interactions, but right now we're just applying it into our own practice, that we can easily be doing these poses and cause harm if we take a different mindset to our efforts. What is the non-harming? Now, not being present enough can also be harmful, because we're not making good use of our time to work on our mobility. Good, let's release that leg. Let's change the arms out and grab the other foot with the other hand. And we're not pulling too tightly today, we're just letting gravity do the work, opening up that muscle. Turn the gaze over to the left shoulder. We hang in this idea of ahimsa. Going into the stretch, rather than trying to exacerbate the sensation, we just grow more mindful of the sensation. One thing that I like to emphasize is putting the sensation, putting the stretch in the belly of the muscle. So if you feel this in your quad, that's the front of the thigh, it's not near the knee, it's not near the hip, but it's deep in the center of the quad, the center of that thigh muscle. This is an expression of practicing ahimsa in your pose. Let's release that back. Good. You're going to rest your forehead down on the mat if you can. And you're going to take your hands back by your hips. The palms can be down to start. Yes, and now you're going to take the hands a little wider so you can put the pinky edge of your hand down, but your thumb edge is up in the air. Now lift the thumb side, lift the crown up, lift the legs up like you're a soaring penguin sliding on ice. Thumbs up, palms out. So we get a nice shoulder opener, pulling the muscles into the center of your spine. Breathe. And release. You can turn your head to one side and just rest here a moment. Maybe think about lengthening your exhale with Ujjayi Pranayama. Let's do a second round, rotating the palms to turn out as you squeeze and lift, peeling up the muscles of the back, lifting the legs, shoulders, arms, and head. Breathe. One great way to know if you're practicing ahimsa in your asana, in your effort level, is can you take a smooth exhale? Or have you perhaps clenched the breath? One way that I sometimes, as a demonstrator, as a practice, and as a teacher, is can I talk? Can I talk during the pose? Lowering back down, turning the head to the other cheek. Placing the hands underneath your shoulders. Let's scoop up and back to a tabletop pose. You might want to use blocks for this if you're going to stay on your knees. If you're going to go, you can also do this. We're going to do some leg curls. You can do this in downward facing dog, in which case you might not need the blocks. So tabletop, I'm going to put my hands on blocks for a little more clearance. You're just going to swing. You're going to swing. Inhale, left leg back and up. And then exhale, squeeze it in, pulling the knee and nose towards each other. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. 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 Swing your knee to the left. Swing your knee to the right. While it's under you, one more time to the left. One more time to the right. And place it back in a neutral position. Prepare yourself for the second side. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, close. Inhale, back. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. 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 Exhale, close. Swing the knee across and wide, across and wide, across and wide, and back to a neutral position. Good. Let's walk our hands back so we're up in a kneeling pose. with our hips above our knees. You're going to support your low back with your hands on your hips. Point the fingers down and imagine you were squeezing a block behind you with your elbows. When you squeeze that block behind you with your elbows, don't bulge your ribs forward. Instead, kind of draw the belly in and down a little bit. Good. Keep that and let the shoulders rock back. Almost like your shoulders are moving down and into your elbows. I let my head be heavy here so the back of my neck remains long. You can just stay like this in this version of the pose, or now what you'll do is you'll keep the feeling in your core, but put your left fingertips on your left heel. I'm trying to bring them back to your hips, keep your core strong, and put your right fingertips on your heel. Keep your core strong. You're not putting weight on your fingertips. And come back. One more deep breath here, core strong. And let's relax down. Very nice. You're going to tuck your toes, and if you have blocks with a little more leverage, you're going to push up into a squat pose. Put your elbows on your thighs, let your head be heavy. Just allowing the back to release in the opposite direction it was just working. Good. Root your feet down and press down as you rise up to standing. Go ahead and grab one of your blocks now. Standing in mountain pose, you're going to hold this block out. I'm going to turn to the side so it's a little easier to see the instruction. You're going to hold this block out in front of you, and you can kind of grab around the front like this. You're going to squeeze the block gently, and you're going to pull straight back. What I'm not doing is bending the elbows. And I'm also, when I pull back, I'm not swaying my hips or my ribs forward. Rather, I'm pulling using those rhomboid muscles we were talking about. I'm pulling, so it pulls my shoulder blades in and onto my spine, low rib area. You can feel an engagement in that mid-upper back. Don't let the ribs pop forward. Kind of feel that mid-upper back musculature engaging. Now, keeping that, start to lift the arms up without letting the ribs come forward. Nice and slow. Keep that engagement, keep that squeeze without letting the ribs pop forward. Stay with it. Keep breathing in your mountain pose, elbows straight. I see some elbows bending. That's called fatigue. And bring the hands back down. Then release the posture. Good. All right. You're going to do the same thing. If you have two blocks, you're going to use two blocks. And you're going to put them together in a long pattern. And you're going to hold them out in front. Again, you can just use one block. There's just a little bit of a different relationship to that engagement action. Okay, you're going to squeeze the blocks and then draw them in. Feeling that tone in the mid-upper back area. Oh, my hips went a little forward that time. I'm going to be mindful of that. And then I'm going to lift without moving any other part of the body. Exploring my mobility. And release down. Good. Round 3, you will use your strap. So you're gonna fold your strap in half, and then fold your strap in half again. So it should be about the length of your shoulders, give or take. Once you've got that, you're gonna hold it out in front, and squeeze and pull apart. Once you're pulling apart, draw them back, like the same thing you did with the block. Good. Level 2, now keep that squeezing back and rotate so the knuckles point away from each other. Yeah, a little higher with your hands, Kathy. So see how I've turned my hands from drawing back and I've rotated the strap. So it's like I'm squeezing my elbows towards each other. Okay, hips back a little bit, friends. Lift up, slow, like you're holding 2 torches in your hand, and you're lifting those torches up without spilling any of the, I don't know, torch fluid, I guess. Excellent, coming back down. That should keep those shoulders open off the ears. Let's try that one more time. This time you can open the length so you're a little bit wider than shoulders distance. Okay, not all the way to the edge of the strap, just a little wider. Same thing, you're gonna pull on the strap, squeeze the cord, and let's draw our shoulders back, arm bone into shoulder. Now, rotate like you're holding 2 torches in your hands. Good. And then slowly lift those torches up without letting the ribs or hips swing forward. This will help keep the shoulders down off of our ears as we lift. And come back down. Before you release, keep the engagement slow. Yeah, slow out of the pose too. Then we relax. Good. So keeping that feeling in our shoulders as we move into some other standing poses. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bow, hands go down the legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step the right leg back. And lift up, warrior 1. Try to remember that same action we had with the block as you lift up. Slower, be mindful of the action we're just cultivating. If you want, use the block still. Exhale, warrior 2. Turn the palms up and lift the arms up again. Bring the left elbow down, side angle pose. Inhale, back up and step to mountain pose at the front of your mat. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, flatten the back. Exhale, step the left leg back. And practicing the same thing you did with your block, lift up the arms, warrior 1. Open out, warrior 2. Turn your palms up and lift up. Again, that same feeling like we had our block with us. And tip over with the right arm on the thigh, side angle pose. Inhale, back up. And swooping the arm under, mountain pose. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, step the right leg back. Inhale, warrior 1. Remembering those core alignments. Exhale, warrior 2. Palms up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge it over, side angle. pose. Good. Inhale, back up. And then swoop that back arm under and through, mountain pose. Stay with the flow. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, left leg back. Inhale, warrior one arms, practicing our core alignment, shoulder alignment. Good, nice and steady now. Open up, warrior two, exhale. Palms up, lift up, inhale. Hinge it over, side angle pose. Inhale up. And swoop that back arm under and through, mountain pose. Hands to your heart. Let's sit down into a chair posture. Inhale, lift up the left knee and stack it on top of the right knee. You can put the foot on the floor or just squeeze those legs together. Inhale, bring that knee back up and send it back to a lunge pose again. Arms in the sky. Good. If you want, you find blocks or a coffee table ledge in front of you or just the floor. Put your hands in front and let's lift that back leg high into the air. Well, you can even lift that hip up a little bit, open it up, and then drop it back down. Inhale, come up into that chair pose. Sitting here. Next in-breath, lift up the right knee and stack it and squeeze it on top of the standing knee. Inhale it up. Step it back to a lunge. Rock it forward, hands on the blocks or the floor, on the ledge. Lift up that back leg. You can roll the hip open slightly. And bring it down. Bend your knees. Roll up through your spine into a chair pose. Sitting into that chair, exhale. Inhale, left knee up. Exhale, squeeze it on top, bending both knees. Inhale that knee up. Let's step it on back. High lunge shape. Mindful movement, focusing on our breathing, our mobility, our mindfulness. Rocking forward, lift that back leg. In addition, you can roll that hip open a little deeper stretch, side stretch, and bring it on down. Bending both knees, inhale, come up, chair pose. Taking an exhale here. Inhale, shift up, bring up the right knee. Stack it on top. Inhale up. Step it back. Rock it forward, hands on the blocks. Lift that back leg and roll the hip open. Lower it down. And we'll come all the way up. Look up at your hands. Bring your hands down to your heart. Keep looking up, pressing your chest up into the thumbs. Breathe. Good, hands down. Let's flow down, forward bend. Let's step our feet wide apart, turning wide length on our mat, wide-legged mountain pose. Just take a moment to swing the hips side to side. Good, we'll turn our left foot out first. Pushing down through our legs. Reach out with our left hand and slide our hand across an imaginary table edge. Good. Let's pull the right shoulder back as you do this. So drawing the right shoulder away from the left fingertips. Keep breathing here. This might be the pose. Listening to the limbs, listening to your mobility. If you want, you're going to drop that hand straight down and slide it down the top of the leg, pushing the shin down into the ankle, pushing the ankle down into the sole of the foot. Breathe here and draw the core in and the shoulder blades back. Now look over the right shoulder. Lift the right arm straight up like a flagpole. Inhale, lift it on up. Bend your front knee nice and deep. Really lengthening the back inner thigh. And then turn the feet back to wide-legged. Supporting your legs, your hips with your hands. Let's drop our pelvis forward a moment. Let's kind of swing the pelvis back a moment. You can bend the knees here. And then go ahead and turn the other foot out. I think it's the right foot now. This can be your stance. You're going to stretch and press your right hand out on an imaginary ledge. Put your left hand on your hip. And sort of pull your left shoulder back as you slide your hand forward on that ledge. This could be the pose. And keep reaching out until that side core body engages and the legs feel very stable. You want to go deeper, drop the hand down to the shin or knee and then slide it down onto the shin. Go ahead today and actually push down on the shin into the ankle and foot, keeping some more engagement that way. Look over the left shoulder and sprout the left arm like a flagpole. Inhale, come back up. Bend that front knee nice and deep, getting an inner thigh stretch on the left leg. And turn back to center. Good. Open the throat high here. Let's spread our arms like wings and peel the fingertips back, drawing the shoulders and arms back as we do it, feeling a stretch across the front of our chest. Good. Inhale, lift your left arm up as high as it'll go, and then take it across like a windmill and hold the outer right leg. Slide the hand down the outer right leg. Inhale, back up. Let's make those big wings again. Peel the fingers back and draw the shoulders and chest open. Inhale, lift the right arm up high to the sky. Windmill it over and across. And slide it down the outer leg. Inhale, back up. And let's step out of our pose. Good. Breathing here a moment. Let the head grow heavy once more. Place the left hand on the neck. And bring the head down on a diagonal. Just gently. Like you're brushing away tall grass with your right hand. Brush the tall grass away to increase that release from the ear to the shoulder. Inhale back up. Let the head hang. Place the right hand on it and bring the head over on a diagonal. With the left hand, brush the tall grass away, feeling into the stretch. Practicing this idea of ahimsa. Inhaling back. Good. Turn the palms to face front, mountain posture. Bring the belly muscles in a little bit and up, but pull the fingertips down into the earth. As you pull the fingertips down into the earth, stretch the back of your crown into the sky. Feel like your heels have weights in them and they're being pulled into the earth. Shift your weight over into your right leg and bring the left toes close to it. Today, practice your balance. So here's the first stage. We're rooting through our straight right leg, and the big toe is actually touching the arch. The left big toe touches the arch. Everyone can do this. And now slowly stay with your standing leg and just gently slide the inseam of the foot up the inseam of the leg. Mindful of your mobility and balance. Try to mindfully come down before falling if you can. Good. Slide that foot back down. Come back to our mountain posture. Good work. Let's do a mountain pose first to get good alignment for our balance. It's tedious, but it's practicing ahimsa. It sets us up for success. Pull the belly muscles in and up as you reach down and through your fingertips. Stretch up through the back of your crown as you let your heels feel like weights sinking into the earth. Shift your weight over into the left leg. Then bring up on the tiptoe the right foot close to the ankle. When you're ready, the toe can stay on the ground the whole time. Or slide the inseam of the foot up the leg. Control the action. Explore your mobility and balance. Back down. Good. One more time. Cultivate the mountain posture on your own. Belly muscles, fingertips, crown of the head, and the heels. See what you remember. This time, bring the weight into the right foot first. Then bring the foot over. This time, you'll turn the knee out so the heel touches the inner ankle. And if you want, you can slide the heel up the leg so the knee is out wide. It's okay to keep that left toe on the ground the whole time. Explore your balance. Practice ahimsa. And back down. Good. Last round. Mountain pose. See if you remember the cues. Belly muscles. Fingertips. Crown of the head, heels. Shift the weight to the left leg. And draw the right foot in, placing the heel against the ankle. The toe can stay on the floor. This can be your pose. As you explore balancing, you might start to draw the heel up. And release back down. Good job. Sort of start to slide the hands down the leg. Let the shoulders and skull grow heavy. Releasing the back. Bend the knees when it's natural. Flip the heels when it's natural. And then come down to a kneeling posture. From a kneeling posture, you can choose toes tucked and how far apart the knees are. And we're going to just drop the forehead towards the floor. For some of us, the hips and the forehead come to the ground, or one then the other. You choose what feels best and how much. And we breathe into that kidney area, that mid-back, with long, slow exhales. Cross your ankles and sit back. Sit up if you have to and try to get your ankle and opposite knee in a line or under. So your ankles are under your knees, or they're like maybe one ankle's in front of the knee. Go ahead and find your strap again and sit up well. Pull the strap apart like you're pulling it, yep, like we did earlier. Keep your ribs in. It's easier to notice when you're sitting as you lift the arms up into a vertical spine. Good. Keep your left arm straight and take the right arm behind your back. Lower the strap and hold on to it. And then walk your hands closer together. Practice ahimsa here. Make sure your shoulders don't pop off. So you can start to bend that top elbow now, Billy. Yeah, so put your top hand behind your head. Good. See if you can make your spine vertical for one more moment. And now you're going to take your left elbow over and down. So across toward the right knee. You don't have to get to the right knee. You're just going toward it. Inhale back up. And release. Change the leg that's in front. Pull the strap apart in front of your body with straight arms and lift up. Release the left arm behind you. Hold the strap and bring the hands closer together. You can stay here in a vertical spine or start to twist and bow over the left knee. Inhale back up. Release the strap. Go ahead and separate the legs wide apart. Hold the strap at two ends and hook the middle of your strap on your right foot. Pull on the strap with both hands. And walk your hands so the arms can be straight. And your spine is vertical. Stay here. Point your heart at your right toes. If you can, flex your right toes. Draw them back towards the hip. And release. Hook the strap on the left foot. Hold the strap with each hand and walk the hands down the straps so the arms are straight. Pull on the strap with a vertical spine. Try to get those toes to point up at the ceiling. And then draw them back into the hip. Release. Bring the legs in and lie on your back. Lift your hips up, bridge pose. Put one or two blocks under your hips if you want for a passive variation of the pose. Remember to lengthen your exhales, not to over or under effort, as you are practicing ahimsa in your yoga, non-harming. Support your hips with your muscles and remove the blocks. Come back down to the earth. Windshield wiper your knees to the right. Windshield wiper your knees to the left. Do any other kind of twist you'd like, taking your knees over to the right. Same thing to the other side. Go ahead and stretch, come back to center. And stretch out your arms and legs on your mat. Rest your body. Stretch. Take a comfortable seat on your mat. Namaste.